guys, have you ever felt like you're wandering aimlessly through life, like some character in a video game? Trust me, I know the feeling. Listen, it's time to hit pause and tune into Beverly Explains It All. Join me as we have candid conversations with guests and friends and talk about everything under the sun. Let's figure out what really makes you tick. If you're curious about life and learning how to enjoy the present, let's go down this road of self-discovery so together we can purposely find your purpose. Come with me on this journey as Beverly Explains It All. Welcome to Beverly Explains It All. You guys, today I have a guest named Andrea Mangioli. What's up, Andrea?
Hi.
I have to let everyone know we are actually childhood friends. I was telling you the other day, I think you might have been like my first real friend because we lived in the
Yeah,
same neighborhood.
the original Stonegate crew.
Yes. Oh my God, Stonegate. I was thinking Springbrook. I didn't even think about elementary school.
Yeah,
I think they were
that's where we met.
and T. Yeah, I'm tripping. So it's been a while. I mean, we're gonna get into some things, but I know you pretty well. You know the show format. I want to start off with 3 quick icebreaker questions. Are you down to play?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Okay, so I was really thinking about these because I was like, I haven't seen Andrea in a long time, and I know you listen to the show sometime, but this is like one of the most important questions I'm gonna ask you, and I hope you answer correctly. Okay?
Okay. All right, let's go.
Do you watch the Kardashians?
The what?
The Kardashians.
Okay, so yes.
Okay, because you said the what? I was getting frightened already.
I thought I didn't know what I heard, but yes, I have. I've watched many seasons of the Kardashians, but I have not watched the last couple seasons just because I just haven't had time.
I'm gonna forgive you for that. I don't know why. I'm not gonna even like deny it. I like the Kardashians. People are like ashamed to admit it and they act like they don't like it. My husband's like, why do you watch this trash? And then he'll ask me 20 questions while I'm trying to watch it, right?
Uh-huh.
But I mean, when you have a chance to binge it, it's snowing over there. You gotta binge watch.
I like them too, to a certain extent. I think, okay, let me say this right. I think they're really good people, right? And
Mhm.
I think they're very humble, but I do think they can be extravagant.
I mean, if you were worth like, I don't know, $500 million, wouldn't you be a little
Right.
extravagant?
Right. And I don't know them well enough to know, like, do they donate a lot to think? I don't know that answer, but
Yeah.
they entertain me. I hope they do.
They're very entertaining. I will say Kim is doing prison reform and trying to become a lawyer, and I think that's really, because she is
That
worth all that money. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I like him and Chloe the best. I do
Oh,
like Kim
Chloe a
because
lot.
I feel like she has a very good work ethic and drive. And I feel
Yeah.
like I can relate to her work ethic and drive. I like Chloe because she's very down to earth.
Yeah, I feel the same way. And you know what? I'm gonna keep it moving because people are gonna be like, click, click. I'm
Yeah,
not listening to them. So talking about the Kardashians, but I don't
exactly.
care. So I have another very important question. Do you believe in aliens?
Okay, so this is funny. Um, sorta, but a sidetrack. When I was in high school, I drew a family portrait of my family as aliens.
No, you might be one of them, girl.
Yeah. And
See?
as our family grew, I kept making the family portrait bigger as aliens. And in my mom's house, she has these portraits framed.
Oh my God, please take a picture for me. That is wild to me. I believe in aliens and I think they live among us. Like I've already said in previous episodes, I'm like, please, aliens, don't come to me. Like I'm not the one. I'm just, please don't pick me.
I'm like,
But
there
I'm
has to
I
be
believe they're
something out
here.
there.
Yeah.
I think there's something. I
If
don't
you're
know
throwing
what.
them, I don't
Yeah.
know, girl. You might have been invaded and you didn't know.
My son likes the family portrait so much, he wants me to draw him a sketch so he can have it tattooed on him.
That was
He's
pretty
crazy.
dope. That's
Yeah.
pretty dope though. I love it. All right. So we see where you're coming from. This is the third question that I was just super curious about. It's going to kind of, segue us into our episode. But for bucket list slash travel goal, would you pick pure relaxation or on the go adventure?
On the go.
Ooh,
I am a
interesting.
traveler, not a vacationer.
I like that. Oh,
But I
girl, I like
but I
that.
do like a vacation, but I rather travel.
I'm with you. When I was like thinking about this question when I wrote it, I was like, what am I? I'm a little bit of both, but
Mhm.
it's also interesting because you kind of have to pick your travel people or your vacation people. I've traveled with my sister a lot. She and I've learned are really opposite travel styles. She likes pure relaxation. She like can stay in the hotel room and just order room service and she's good to go. I'm
Like
like, I
beach
want to do a
people.
tour. Yeah, beach
Mhm.
people on a tour. If I'm in like an exotic country, I may not ever go back to. I want to learn about it. I want to eat the food. I want to meet the people.
Exactly. If
Yeah.
I go to if I go on a trip and it's to like a tropical beach place, then yeah, I'll take like a relaxing, but I have yet to do that. But it is
Yeah.
on my bucket list to do one of those vacations.
And that's the perfect way to get on into our episode. What's up? I have a great episode today for you. I am meeting with one of my childhood friends. Her name is Andrea Manjuli. We are talking about bucket lists. So she saw one of my old episodes and she was like, why do we have to wait to live our bucket list out in the future? Why can't we do it now? So we are digging in deep with that. Andrea became a mom at a young age, at 19. So we talk about that a little bit and how that's kind of changed her perspective on life and just waiting to live. And we really just wrap into how traveling and, life goes by so fast. Time to live life and be unstuck. So jump into this episode and enjoy. We're going to be talking about living your bucket list right now. Andrea, I am coining you with the name. You are my bucket list activist because
Yeah.
you listened to my bucket list episode. And a couple of days later, you hit me up, you slid into my DMs, and you were like, well, I like the episode, but, and whenever someone's like, but, I'm always like, oh, like, what? Tell me. I want to know. You know what I mean? You're like, but why can't we live our bucket list now? Like, why does it have to be a future
Exactly.
thing? So, I'm
Exactly.
sorry, I forgot. Before I even jump into all that, can you please tell my guests a little bit about you? I know you, so I'm just like, oh, whatever. But no, please let everybody know a little bit about you.
Yeah. So I'm 44. I live in Maryland. I have an adult son who's almost 26 that I had really young, and it's just been the two of us for 26 years. And I am finally in a point in my life where I can start doing stuff for myself. So it's been a little bit of a learning curve to figure out what I like to do and what I'm interested in. You know, before I became a mom, my interests were field hockey and softball. And 44-year-old women don't really play field hockey. So
Girl,
I had to figure
I would
something
break a
out.
hip or something.
Exactly. So I have been on a journey of figuring out what I like as a 44-year-old woman, almost empty
I
nester.
Yeah, that's wild. I mean, I absolutely love that because my show is about helping women get unstuck, finding purpose, and just really making life fun again. And I think you're the epitome of that, like getting unstuck at any age. So I wanted to ask you what got you to like DM me and talk about the bucket list situation.
I I have some strong opinions on women, especially women who become mothers at a very young age, about finding their way and doing something for themselves.
Yes.
Because I feel like a lot of women, especially ones who became mothers maybe in their teens or early 20s, they get wrapped up into a cycle of their children and maybe their partner they had a child with. And I mean, even married children or married women who get married young, they
Mm-hmm.
get into
Mm-hmm.
this cycle where their family, their husband, their children, it's all about them and they
Yeah.
lose sight of who they are. And
Totally.
it makes me sad. You can like being a woman, a wife, a mother, but you still are a woman and a person.
Yeah.
I needed to learn who I was without having a mom title.
I think that's really beautifully said. I mean, I've had many friends who had a child young or got married really young, and I've found in like them that some of them have lost their identity or never knew their identity, and
Mm-hmm.
it'd be crazy because they would be like wiling out when maybe on a girls trip or whatever, and I'm like, what's happening? You know, and I'm all about wilding out. That's what the time, but I'm like, why
Yep.
can't you just also not necessarily wild out or but have fun in your normal daily life? Like, why can't you incorporate it? But it's hard when you don't really know what you like. You're not in touch with yourself, you know?
Right. It
And as
takes
you're,
a long time, I think, for women. Like, I'm going to backtrack a little, especially women who become mothers young. Their whole identity is wrapped up in being a mom. And
yeah,
for me, I became a mom at the same time I became an adult.
yes,
So I was learning how to be an adult. I was learning how to be a mom. I had no clue who I was because I was stuck in this survival mode
yeah.
for so long that I didn't have time to think about what I liked and what I wanted for my life personally. There wasn't time to think about it.
You
So
weren't thinking
now
about
that my
yourself.
life has slowed down, it's I'm able to find things that I enjoy and do things for myself now.
And it's so important. I think that's really what, if you know, I mean, obviously from that amount of time you had your child, and that has to keep you going because you don't have a choice. You have to take care of a human being. But
Yeah.
now it's like to know that you get to actually do things for you and kind of rediscover yourself again. That is just a joy in itself, I would say.
It is so exciting
Yeah.
to finally kind of just figure out what I like, what makes me happy, what I like to do. Like, I'm a pretty much of a homebody, and I have had to kind of force myself to put myself in uncomfortable and challenging situations to just put myself out there and learn things about myself.
And I love that because I often try to put myself in those kind of situations just because I think that's when we grow. You know, who
Yeah,
doesn't like to be comfortable? But when we put ourselves in those like sticky or weird, just uncomfortable situations, it kind of forces you to get to know a part of yourself you might not have even known was in there.
exactly. So when I was in my, I would say middle 30s or early 30s, I had dropped out of college many times. I had got my associate's degree in my 20s just because I needed it to get a stable job and stuff. And I
And can you,
really wanted to
if we could
finish
back
my
up real quick,
bachelor's.
if
Yeah,
you could back up real quick, because I don't think we even told people you were 19 when Anthony was born, or when you
I
were
was
pregnant.
19. I was barely 19. He was born 6 weeks after my 19th birthday.
So I think
So,
everybody listening can like really think about it because like that's you're barely out of high school and it's like, oh wait, now you thought you were about to do your thing, but you were
yeah.
living for your child now.
Yes. So I jumped headfirst into being a mom and trying to set up a stable life for us. I went back to college when he was 4 weeks old. I
Woo,
went to school
girl,
at night for 2 years, and graciously, my parents let me live with them and they supported us through that time so I could get my education.
lucky
And
parent.
I started work on a government contract right away and just started, building my resume up.
You were adulting, like full blown adulting.
Yes, yes.
I mean,
So it's just, I didn't have time to think about anything else but surviving and raising this little boy.
right. Keeping them alive
Yes,
and keeping yourself alive.
exactly.
Well, not only just working full time, like going to school full time, but actually, you were a stay at home mom too. You were doing it
Yeah,
all.
yes. I
And
mean,
that's not typical for a 19-year-old.
no, and it was very my friends had all just gone off to college, so I didn't really have a lot of emotional support from my peers. So here I am as a new mom, and I didn't really have any mom friends to
Yeah,
relate to. So it was
yeah.
very isolating and it was very hard and challenging, and it was really sad sometimes for me. And
I
you have to just put on a happy face and keep going.
I could only imagine. I know we were talking about it, just like the feeling of the isolation. But I mean, I told you, just hats off. Like Anthony is incredible. I've caught up with you. You know, I stayed in touch with you through Instagram and Facebook and stuff over the years. But just to watch him, the way you've raised him over the years has been such a joy because you know I don't have kids right now, to see that you were able to raise such a phenomenal young man. I mean, his work ethic is incredible. I think from what I've seen, you have such an open and loving relationship with him where I feel like he's the type of child who could come to you and talk to you about anything.
Yes, that was one of my main parenting goals was, look, you're going to see me as a human, not as your mom. You're going to see me cry. You're going to see me work hard. I am going to make you do hard things. I distinctly remember, I think he was like 3 and he asked for a peanut butter sandwich. And I was like, well, go try to make it yourself. And I think my mom looked at me like I had 3 heads, like, he's 3. I was like, it's a butter knife. He can try. And
Andrea
he
was
did
cracking the
it.
whip.
He made the
He did
sandwich.
it? No
Yeah.
way.
Like, I'm like, how can he can't hurt himself?
Yeah, that's true.
And I made it a point from a very early age to sometimes at a necessity and sometimes just to challenge him. I made him do things and think of things himself because he is capable. Children are capable of doing so much, but I think moms and women in general get so wrapped up in being a mom.
Yep.
They want to do everything for their children, and they seem to lose track of the fact that you are raising an adult.
Yeah.
You are raising someone that is eventually going to spend a majority of their life as a solo adult doing things by themselves.
Yeah.
And teaching your child that they're capable builds their confidence. It helps them have confidence in the real world to make decisions and not second guess themselves.
Yep.
And it just opens so many more doors for them because they know they're capable.
I think that's really sage advice because I feel like, I mean, I won't say all mothers, but some moms can actually stifle their children because they baby them so much. And like, I know a lot of older moms. My mom's still pushing me right now to have a child. I'm like, damn, like, can I make my own money? Hold on. Like, wait, do I have years left? Right? But like, especially older moms, it's like, you just want the best for them. So you want to like just do things for them. And then the kids grow up and they don't know how to do for themselves.
They don't know how to do anything. They don't have the confidence to make decisions for themselves, to be in a room full of adults and have confidence. Like my son was 14 years old working with grown men out in the, the concrete yard, banging on concrete forms, and he held his own. And he was 14 years old,
Incredible.
Yeah, I mean there's so much to be said for believing in your children.
Yes. I thought it was super cool. You let him get a tattoo at 15. And I don't think that was something like our parents would have let us do at 15. But it's like you were young and you kind of knew what was going on. And he was able to come to you and you were like, you made that decision. You were okay with that.
Well, he was like, it was for his 16th birthday, and we did it before he turned 16. He was like, I really want a tattoo because I have lots of tattoos. So there's nothing new. And I was like, well, let's plan this out. Let's do something that's going to be meaningful to you. Let's get a reputable artist. I didn't want him coming home with something really crappy.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me guide you here and let's do this together. And now we have a handful of matching tattoos. It's one of our favorite activities to do together. We go and get the same one together and it's great. I love it. It's like our special thing.
Bonding. Yeah. I think that's really cool. It's super commendable. Like you're just like that cool mom, but you're still the mom. He respects you, but he also can talk to you. And I think that's just an important thing, that relationship to have, mother and child,
Absolutely.
I mean, well, we're going to get back to the subject because now that your son is grown, I want to know, when did you realize, like, wait a minute, this is my time. Like, I get to live my own life again for you, Andrea, the adult.
It was so hard. I mean, like when he turned 18, I was like up until his 18th birthday, I was like, this is great. He's going to turn 18 and this magical world is going to happen where I don't have any responsibilities.
It's crazy.
Boy, did I fool myself. I was like, whoa, this isn't what I expected. I really thought some magical moment was about to happen. And then I got really, yeah. And then I was like really disappointed for a little while because I was like, this shit sucks still. And so then I had to like regroup my expectations.
This is still life? What the hell is going on? I'm done.
Because I thought 18 was like this magical moment in time. And no, it's not. Honey. So it took me a few years to like, then during, you know, as he graduated high school, he has a girlfriend, he has a full-time job, he has friends and activities, and I'm at home by myself. And it took me, at first, I was like, this is cool. I love this. I'm at home alone and no one's bugging me. And then I was like, a few years later, I was like, I'm bored. I need to do something. I need to figure this out.
Yeah.
It was just so hard and confusing and somewhat depressing because I had no idea who I was as a 40-year-old woman and what I liked. And it was a lot of trial and error and putting myself in situations that challenged me a lot.
Mm-hmm. For the good or for bad or for both?
Both. I went back to school and got my bachelor's degree at 35.
Yes, I remember the pictures. Congratulations.
Yeah. I didn't even need the degree for a job. I was just like, bucket list. We got to get this done. We got to graduate. I need to have my degree.
At 35, our brains, I feel like my brain was not as sharp. Once I forgot, like being in school, I dumbed myself down, honestly. And I was like, for a while, I was like, maybe I'll go get my master's. And I was like, maybe not. Like, that's a lot of work. It's hard.
It is. It's a whole lot of work. Mm-hmm. And I was working full time. I was doing side jobs still. I was going to school online. After that was done, I took a little break and I was like, okay, well, what's next? We got to do something. I can't just sit on my butt and do nothing.
See, but that
so I started making a bucket list. I found out like I like writing. I started a blog. Yeah, so it was just a lot of trial and error to find out what I was enjoying and not enjoying.
I love that you took that time for yourself. Like some women might have just like been stuck and been like, all right, well, my son's gone off. He's got a life. I don't have anything to do. I'm just going to just sit here and kind of wither away. You know, some people just get super depressed and that becomes their identity. They don't really try to do things.
It was really hard. I was depressed for a little while and I was going through some health issues. I actually had a huge fibroid. It was 4 pounds on my uterus that I was unaware of. So I didn't know what was going on there. I was getting like sick. Yeah. And then when they figured out what was wrong with me and I had a hysterectomy, I was like, I feel a million times better, which motivated me even more to be like, I got to do stuff.
I've heard that with women, not to sidetrack, but I'm a fibroid sister with you, girl. I had a 20-day period, and that's when I was like, all right, what's happening? Like, let's go ahead and get this surgery. I haven't had a hysterectomy, but if I needed it, I would have because it was kind of out of control. But I love that you were able to be like, okay, now that I can actually be free and I'm not sick and, you know, life is out there. I love that you were like ready to embrace it.
Yes. And my first solo trip was to the Grand Canyon. And it was by happenstance. I had gone to Phoenix with my sister-in-law to see my niece for a long weekend, and she got sick and couldn't go on our planned side excursion to the Grand Canyon. So I was like, do I sit in this hotel or do I just go? Right. And it was a 4-mile drive. Or not 4 mile, 4-hour drive from where we were. Yeah. And I was like, no, I'm just going to go. And I went and it was so exciting just to be there by myself and see this like remarkable thing, and I was just like in awe. And I had been to the Grand Canyon as a kid, so I already knew what it was like, but to be there by myself and know that I traveled there by myself,
Yeah.
I'm experiencing this, I
Yeah.
can do things that I want to do. It was
How
awesome.
empowering. Yeah.
It
I
really
mean,
was.
I think it's supposed to, because I mean, unfortunately she was sick, but you had a choice there. You could have been like, oh, I'll just stay here and chill, whatever. But
Mhm.
you actually were like, no, I'm gonna get out and do this. I think that's like, that is a pivotal turning point to me in your life.
It was. And I kind of like said to my parents, I'm like, well, I'm gonna go anyway. They're like, why? I'm like, why not? I'm here. I have a
Yeah.
car.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go. Like, what's the worst that can happen?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, don't even let your brain go there. See, I don't know if I would have gone, which is sad on me, because I told you before, I've never been on a solo trip, but you were. But I think I would have been like, oh, I'm gonna play it safe. I'm just gonna stay at the hotel, like whatever. But I love that you went. And because you went, it started opening your taste for the adventure, I'd say, because
Yeah.
everybody doesn't know, you did a huge solo trip by yourself to Rome.
I did. I went to Rome in March by myself. I've never been to Europe, so it was my first time in Europe. And my dream has always, I'm Italian, my family's from Southern Italy. So I had a dream to go. And I was like, I'm just going to do this. No one has time or to go with me. And I'm not sitting around waiting for someone, because if I do, I'm never going to go. So I booked the ticket and I was like, oh, okay. Now I have to plan this. Like, I can't just show up willy nilly.
Right.
So I started looking at things.
Like on the street.
Yeah, I was like, I have to actually make an itinerary. I have to plan this out. And for me, the best part of my trip was I looked up tattoo artist in Rome, and I coordinated getting a tattoo in Rome.
No, you didn't. You didn't tell me that.
Yeah, I got a tattoo of Saint Anthony. And the reason and the meaning behind getting that tattoo was, if you don't know, Saint Anthony is the saint of lost items and of the children. And my son's name is Anthony. And I was like, how great would it be to go to Rome, get a tattoo of a saint that is known for the lost items, which I felt lost at the time. My son's name is Anthony. So I was like, I'm going to go and get this tattoo in Rome, and it's going to be the best thing ever for me.
And your family's Italian.
Yes. So that was really exciting for me to plan out.
So cool. I mean, how did you even just push yourself to just be like, I'm gonna do this? Like, you said you just bought the ticket. Sometimes that's like what the motivation is. You get the ticket, you have no choice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
basically, that's what happened.
Was that it? Was that, you're just like, I'm gonna rip the Band-Aid off, I'm doing it?
Well, it was more of, I booked the ticket, and then I started looking at these tattoo artists, and I booked a tattoo appointment. I was like, well, now I really have to go.
If you couldn't before of just a plane ticket, you really had to when you booked that tattoo appointment.
Yeah, because I was like, because he's a famous artist. He's tattooed Demi Lovato. And I'm like, God, I am not messing with this man's books. I gotta go now.
Right? Or he'd just charge you.
Exactly. I was like, I'm not wasting money. I gotta go. And it was really scary for me when I got off the plane in Italy, in Rome, and I was looking, I'm like, okay, I don't really know what the hell I'm doing.
Because it's
waiting for my luggage. Yeah, I was like waiting for my luggage, and I was like shitting bricks. I was like, I have to figure out how to get to the train, and then I have to buy a train ticket, and then I have to take a train to Rome. And then I have to get off this train and find a taxi driver who will take me to my Airbnb. Meanwhile, it was raining, pouring rain when I arrived. And so I figured that out. And then I had to figure out how to contact my Airbnb host, who did not speak English.
You
and it
did
was
all that
raining.
there? What?
Yeah, and I was raining, and I lugged this suitcase. If you've ever been to Europe,
Yeah.
the stair
Those
situation is
cobblestones.
awful.
It's so bad.
It
It's
is
so
so
bad.
bad. I
That's
lugged
so
this suitcase up, and I was like, okay. I was like, I'm hungry. So I went out, and it was dark by then. It was still raining. And it's also, if you know, in Europe, they don't eat till like 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah. Yeah.
I go to bed at 8.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Wandering around Rome in the dark rain, trying to find a restaurant that will give me food. I gave up, and I went back and ate a protein bar in my Airbnb by myself.
Yeah.
I was like really sad and depressed. I was like, I don't know if I made the right decision.
I'm here.
But then I got up the next day because I had a pre-booked tour at the Coliseum, and I had to be there by a certain time. I'm like, the sun's shining. I got this.
Yes.
So after that, after getting myself to the Coliseum, it kind of all was just really easy after that.
I mean, the Coliseum is so spectacular too. And once you're in a tour group, it's like, oh, you don't really feel alone anymore.
No, and people were so friendly. Like when they learned that I was by myself, like they made it a point to talk to me. The tour guides were like telling me like tips and tricks, where to go in the city. It was just really refreshing because everyone was so welcoming and helpful.
That's really dope. I mean, I was just kind of thinking about when me and Andre went together. I'm thinking about how you went and just landed. Like I've become more type A in my older age. So I'm like scheduling everything. And like we had a travel agent, but I also had my own little travel agency book, and I was making my own little notes to think of just landing there and not knowing, oh my God, sorry, my dog just hopped in my lap. He's out of control.
Oh, hi, Pugsley.
All right, thank you. Bye. Sorry about that. When I landed, I didn't understand anything. Even like the signage was different.
Yeah.
And for it to be dark, I was rain. I had to hold the luggage. I don't know how you did it. So right there in itself, would you say, like, I was going to ask you, what did this whole experience teach you about yourself?
It taught me that I am more than capable, which I kind of knew I was more than capable of doing things. But when knew I was capable, I was in my comfort zone, and I was where I was with things that were familiar. Now I'm in another country where I don't speak the language. I don't have any like geographical bearing of where the hell I am or where I'm going.
You got to trust those instincts.
Right. And I had to trust like these cab driver men to get me where I said I wanted to go. Mm-hmm. It was a little intimidating, but I did a lot of research before I went. Figured out who the taxi companies were. I downloaded their apps. I ordered taxis through the app. I got in the taxi and I watched the car on the app drive me like, oh yes, yeah, he is taking me to the Coliseum. I'm cool. I'm all right.
He is going the right way. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So like once I kind of felt more comfortable and I took a couple trips to here and there, like it was a lot easier to be in these surroundings that were new. It was still challenging, but I felt more comfortable.
It was like you kind of owned the town because you knew, like, oh, there's the grocery store over there. There's the little, the shop over there. Yeah, I really like that. Like, it just, hearing you say it, I feel like, obviously you're a very strong woman already, but that's totally out of your comfort zone. And for you to be able to show yourself you can do it and you survived and you thrived, like, yeah. I think that's what pushed you to move on to your next solo trip that you have coming up next year. Do you want to tell everyone where that is?
I am going to Portugal, Porto, in 2 months exactly. I actually just completed my itinerary today. I booked 4 excursions and I typed up my whole itinerary. Ooh. So I have 4 things planned for my 5 days that I'm there, and I'm really excited.
Oh, yes, you are the adventure on the go person.
Yes, I booked 4 tours, like a tuk-tuk tour. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Oh, yeah, yeah, the little cars. I did that the first day because when I went to Rome, I booked a Vespa sidecar tour the first day I was there. And I felt like it was a really good way to get my bearings of the city with
Smart.
someone else driving me and telling me all these things. So I felt like if I did that for the first day, I would have a good bearing of the city landscape. So it would be easier to walk around town the next day.
You know what you're doing.
I kind of think I do now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, think about this too. It's like you're doing this for you, but I had someone on my show and I was telling you she's a travel agent for solo travel. I'm like, because you're doing this, that could be you. Talk about a hobby or like even just like a side thing. And even if you don't, just for you or for your friends or family, like even when you're speaking about it, I can see you light up and I can tell you just like kind of did it because it's like fresh in your mind and exciting.
Yeah. It's really like exciting to know that you can set out these things and accomplish them. Like I planned this. I paid for it. I planned it and I'm going. And I did it all by myself.
Yeah.
You know? And to me, especially for women, I think that can be really empowering.
1,000,000%. And it like opens up something in us that isn't always there. You know what I mean? Like it is, of course, we all want to feel safe. And I'm not saying that solo travel isn't safe, but there's something like, I don't know if risky is the right word, but like adventurous. It's exciting. It's different, you know?
Yeah.
And to have that part of us unleashed and unlocked, it's always just such a good feeling, you know? And to be like, I did that. I was okay and I figured it out.
Exactly. And I think I'm just such an advocate for women being themselves and trying things for themselves and advocating for themselves and not and having their own things and doing their own things. Like you have an identity that's all yours. It doesn't have to be wrapped up in your child or your children or your husband or anything. Like you are a whole person on your own.
Exactly. I mean, I couldn't have said it better myself. A job, whatever it is, and you can do it at any age, right?
Yeah.
I literally was about to ask you one message you'd give to women who feel stuck. You kind of said it.
Let me think about that. My message to women who feel stuck is just put your foot out there. Just try. If you don't like it, try something else. But you have to advocate for yourself. You have to put yourself in positions where you are in control. You're making the decisions. You're not waiting for people to make things comfortable for you. You're not waiting for people to make decisions for you or lead you or guide you. You are more than capable of doing that on your own. We raise whole humans. I raised a whole human on my own. I was responsible for his physical, emotional, intellectual, all this. I was responsible for his well-being. If I can raise a human on my own, I can go do these things on my own.
Yeah, and even for those who are not mothers, you got yourself to whatever age you are now. Now's the time. I was going to ask you, why do you think it's important for people, specifically women, to embrace the now? Because that's the whole reason why you hit me up. You're like, girl, bucket list. Why do I have to be 85 to start, doing whatever? You want it now. So why do you think it's important to embrace the now?
Many people who are, in their midlife 40s, they're like, it's too expensive. I can't afford this. I can't take time off of work. My kids need, like, it's 5 days. And it cost me less than $1,000. People go to Ocean City, Maryland and spend $5,000 on a crappy hotel and a beach where you're sitting on top of people.
Yep.
Like,
that's so true. Yeah.
Like, what? Spend $1,000 and you could go to Europe in 3 days and see so many things,
It's so true.
Like, there's just such a big world out there. And I'm the kind of person, like, I want to see as much of it as I can.
Me too. God, okay. I know I have to stop asking you questions, but I'm going to ask you one more just for my own thing. I know you have Portugal planned. What? Give me things. The next three destinations, and you know what? Give me the three destinations, but give me one non-travel bucket, quote unquote, bucket list thing that bucket list that you want to do.
Okay, so I have a couple bucket list things that I want to do. I'm going to Colorado next weekend with a couple good friends. And in Colorado, there's this thing called the Manitou Incline,
Oh,
where it's like
scary.
5,000, I don't remember exactly how many feet, but it's like steps straight up in the air. That's one of my
Oh
bucket lists.
my God,
Yeah.
you're gonna do that?
Not right now because I have a bum knee, but that
Okay.
is a goal one day.
Good for you. That you
Yeah.
can do that one for me, honey, because I'm not. That's definitely not on my list. But that
Yeah.
is amazing.
So that's like one of my like physical bucket list things. Another bucket list thing, I have organized a donation to a domestic violence shelter for many years, probably over the past decade.
Wow.
I've been donating to a domestic violence shelter at Christmas time where we buy all new goods and I take it over to them, and I am a really big advocate for women getting out of domestic violence situations.
Yes.
I feel like every woman deserves the right to live in a safe space with their child and be happy. And if that's one of my goals, I want to open a nonprofit for women with children who are fleeing domestic violence and
Beautiful.
continue, advocating for them. So that's one of my bucket list things.
How selfless are you, girl?
Yeah, I have to thank my friends because they every year very generously spend money to help me with this donation. My family, even random strangers in my community have donated to this cause. I haven't done it a couple years. It's a lot of work, but we have done it for over a decade now and it's great.
That's really incredible, and I want to make sure that I get all that information so I can put it in the show notes.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
because God, I love that. Okay, I love that you have so many bucket lists, and I keep calling it bucket list. We're gonna have to come up with a new name because it's not bucket list. It's like it
It's
is, but it
life.
isn't. You
It's
know
a
what I mean?
life list.
Life lists. Yes,
Yes.
yes. I mean, it really is because you're doing the damn thing now.
Yeah, I am just like I feel it's so important to empower women, especially young women, women who have children young. I'm just such an advocate because I didn't have a role model as a 19-year-old mom. I had to figure out everything on my own. This was
With the
before
hard way.
smartphones and internet. And I had to use payphones and track down my local health office and figure out how to get daycare vouchers and WIC and all these things. And I did this all on my own. I didn't have any guidance. So I think it's really important for young women to have role models that have been there, done it, and help guide them and help them make good decisions, not only for their children, but for their own lives.
And now people can actually look at you because you are a fantastic example. I mean, you're strong, beautiful, selfless. It just exciting. You're such a great guest to have on. So I'm like, oh my God, look at all these cool things she's doing. You're so accomplished. But we do have to get back to those three places you said you would go. Because I haven't forgotten. Even though you're selfless, I'm gonna make you talk about yourself because I'm like, you're living for you. I love that you're doing these for for other people as well. It's nice to have that balance. But I love that you're also embracing your time. Because Anthony, you grown, boy, you grown.
Yeah. So
Mama
I guess
time.
I haven't really thought about it. There's like places I want to go. I do want to go to like the Netherlands. That's one of my bucket list places.
Ooh,
I've been to South America. I've been to Ecuador, but I'd like to go back. I kind of want to go to Argentina. I think that would be really cool.
oh, the
Um,
food.
yeah, I really want to do something in South America. I want to go somewhere in the Netherlands, but I also really, really, really want to go to Iceland and see the Northern Lights, like in all their glory there.
Yes. Iceland's on my list. I might have to meet you there.
Yes,
I
yes.
hear it's
I am a cold
incredible.
weather girly, so like All the cold weather places are, I'm not a tropic. I don't want to be at the beach at all.
Ugh. See, we're opposite, but Iceland, I mean, I just hear it's so incredible and I want to see the Northern Lights,
There's
obviously.
so many cheap flights. Like you could literally go for a long weekend. Well, you're on the West Coast, so it'd be a little bit harder. But East
Yeah.
Coast people, you can go on a weekend.
I feel like there's no excuses, even for the West Coast people. It's like you have to just what's on your list, you know? Like think of that. Think of the real. If it's your bucket list, change it up. Make it your life list. Make it happen sooner than later. Because, like you said, things aren't really. They're expensive, but it's always going to be expensive, and it's probably just going to get more expensive. You know?
Exactly. And it's like, why not? You're just sitting around all weekend anyway. Take a Monday off.
Okay.
If you can't go internationally, go see the beautiful United States. There's so many places in the United States. There's so many national parks. There's so many things here that are just so wonderful that you should see. Get out of your little town. Go do things that you've never done before.
Drive to the next state over or take a bus,
Yes.
you know what I mean? Like
Yes.
and even in your own state. Like I always say, my husband and I, we've become homebodies too. And I'm like, we live right near Hollywood, but there's so many parts of Hollywood like I haven't even been to, and I've been here since I was 18. I'm like, when did this come? This has been here,
Make a list of things you
before
want to
me.
see in, 1 weekend a month. All right, we're going to go here.
Yeah. Yep.
Just
See,
go do it.
you know how to do it. I feel like you have found your hobby, like your main hobby. It's a travel coordinator. I mean,
Yeah.
enthusiast, philanthropist. I always say it wrong, but it's like, girl, like I feel like you really. Do you feel like you know who Andrea is?
I feel like I am learning who she is. I
Good.
feel like she has a lot more growing to do, and I want to see what the next decade is going to be like, how I'm going to grow in the next decade. I feel
Okay.
like you should never stop growing and learning. And there's such a big world out there that the possibilities of your knowledge and your experiences are infinite. And
Yeah.
we're all going to die. Like it's going to happen. There's no avoiding it. And it's like, what did you do with your time here?
Right.
Do something.
Right. Yeah. Gotta live. You gotta live now.
Yeah.
Man, Andrea, you are so insightful. I'm so proud of you. Just raising a whole damn human being when they're partying in college and not even doing nothing. Like that is just so commendable. Being a single mother, busting your ass, raising a child to be so responsible and just, I don't know, caring. He seems like the sweetest. Congratulations and just good for you, man. Good on you.
Thanks. It was so nice to connect with you. I'm so happy. I'm going to listen to more podcasts, but I'm so happy I stumbled upon the bucket list one because it did kind of jumpstart me to like really think about which other bucket list items I have.
And I'm like, I hope other people, especially women, are just encouraged to do so. You inspired me to like stop waiting and to stop thinking of the future because I have like a bucket list full of things, a quote unquote bucket list. And I will say, I think I travel more than the average person, but I'm like, it also has made me kind of be like, well, maybe you need to try a solo travel. Like we talked about it. I'm like, I think you have inspired me to actually do it because I think it's very important for women in particular just to push themselves to grow.
Yeah.
And like you said, we never stop growing as people. We might know who we are right now, but we might not be that same person tomorrow.
And you're allowed to change.
Exactly. That's
You're
the best
allowed
thing.
to change. Don't let
And
someone
you never
tell
have to
you
stay stuck.
you're different. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
right?
different. I
Uh-huh.
learned a lot more.
Yeah. And this is who I want to be right now. I like the
Yeah,
Kardashians. It's fine.
exactly. Exactly.
Oh my God. All right, girl. I wanted to give you an opportunity to, plug anything you'd like. I love that women's shelter that you were talking about. Don't worry if you don't have all the information right now, because I'm putting her on the spot a bit. I'm gonna have everything in the show notes. If you have any shout outs or anything like that, I'd love to hear it.
So I was going to say my life mantra is never apologize for how you choose to survive. And
Ooh.
it's on my Facebook, it's on my Instagram, it's what I live by because I always got a lot of flack on how I raised my son. And I was like, no, I'm going to do what I know is best for me, what's best for him, and I'm not going to make excuses for how we're going to survive this.
Hell yeah.
And I carried that into adulthood where I'm not going to make excuses. I'm going to survive the best way I know how, and that's what's going to be good for me in my life.
I love that. I mean, we were talking about boundaries a bit. That's just a boundary in itself. It's like, I am not going to apologize because I made it to here.
Yeah. Everybody
Don't
has
you
to
worry about
survive
how.
this world. No one's getting
Everyone's gonna
out.
have an opinion. Everyone's gonna
Yeah.
have an opinion. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And the only opinion that matters is how you feel about yourself at the end of the day.
There you go. There you go. Wow. Well, you have been a fantastic guest. More than I even dreamed of this episode. I love talking. I love catching up first off. I love just, knowing that we can live for today and just feel alive. I love that
Yeah.
even though you might have gone through struggle, you still have taken the time for yourself to be unstuck and to figure out new ways to make life exciting.
Yeah, gotta live.
Well,
You're stuck here for X amount of years. You got to do something, right?
Thank you, God. Let us be stuck as long as we can, because it ain't a bad place to be,
Yep. Well, I'm so happy that you had me on.
1000%. Thank you so much for coming on. I'm going to put all your information in the show notes. So if anybody wants to slide in your DMs, are you cool with that?
Yeah, of course.
Awesome. All right, guys. This has been Andrea Manjuli, and it's me, Bev, from Beverly Explains It All. Thanks for listening. Thanks, Andrea.
Thanks. See you later.